get away with a bit of Chinese from time to time, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, Richard, do you want to introduce yourself? Because we don't actually know each other, right? So, before you introduce yourself, this is a really good tip for anyone out there. If you ever want to work with someone in life, just give them loads of praise. That's exactly what Richard did. Richard messaged me and said, Daniel, I've watched your content. I really love it. It's the lowest hanging fruit. If you really want to work with someone, just give them compliments, make them feel great. And that's exactly what he did. It's the kind of things I do in my life. If I want to connect with someone, I give them lots of praise, lots of love that's genuine. And of course, I'm going to give him the time of day. And now we're talking. So, Richard, over to you. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself. Yeah, thanks so much for letting me in. And exactly what you said is exactly what I did. I came across your live stream. It looked interesting. I checked out some of your content. Saw some of your live streams and then made the right comments, and then that was easy. It's like an easy way to sort of pay. And I've been in China since 2015, and I'm heavily involved in education, but I also recently have been developing more like self-development courses, trying to help people to find the best of themselves, find the confidence within themselves to do what they really want to do. I've also written a lot of articles. I've made a lot of content. I've been live streaming for a long time. I really like making videos. I like hosting activities. I like collaborating with like-minded people. And obviously, I like making friends with awesome people. And that's pretty much like an introduction of myself in China. I've traveled around many places in China, and I've been to like around 20 countries. I speak 3.4 languages, like 3 to 4 languages.
Wow.
English, Chinese, Spanish, and a bit of Portuguese.
Wow.
So that's me in a nutshell. So that's why I'm kind of really heavy on the education side, because I really understand how hard it is to learn a new language. But at the same time, being positioned here in China, I am very interested in international trade, and I have dabbled in it a little bit. And when I came across your channel and what you were doing, it really attracted me.
Very eloquent and spot on introduction there. Thank you, Richard. Because obviously we don't really know each other, right? This is the first time we're really talking. Because how this came about, guys, is Richard and I were discussing on WeChat. Oh, should we have a call? Should we get to know each other? And then I thought actually the best way is for us to just jump on a live stream and kind of show how you should speak to people when you first meet them. The way Richard has just delivered his intro, it's short, it's sweet. He doesn't ramble on for 5-10 minutes like I do. He actually keeps it nice and short. And this is how, you know, for the English learners out there, this is how you should present yourself, almost like an elevator pitch. Oh, I said elevator, I meant lift. A lift pitch to really get the key points across. And he's just dropped. Let's wait for him to come back. I'll wait for Rich to come back before we start. There we go, Richard. We lost you for a second. Back.
No worries. Yeah, keep going. It's a little bit sensitive. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so I think this is a really good life lesson for anyone listening to this out there, is when you make an introduction, make it really short, sweet. The key, you know, the key parts, and the main, because most people switch off. And I always say to people that give speeches, and I'm interested to dive deep into your stuff that you're doing with self-development. But a lot of people kind of switch off. If you give a speech that's 10, 15 minutes long, most people switch off after the first 5. I always like to look at the audience, who's looking at their phones when I'm giving a speech. Like I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
But how I'm different is I get them off their phones, Richard. I say, get off your phone. That's kind of what I do.
You have to be like that. And I'm the same. If I'm giving a speech, I'm looking at everybody to see that they're looking at me. And if they're not, and they're starting to switch off, it means it's my problem. I'm doing something which is not right. Like, I need to engage them, captivate them, catch them. I think you have to do that within like the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
First minute. I know you said 5 minutes, but I think definitely early on. But like for us, we've never met each other before. It's our first time.
Yeah.
So my introduction has to be straight to the point, because otherwise you could switch off. But if it's like someone that I've known for ages, or like there's not so much pressure, maybe I could easily ramble on for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But I think you need to keep it short and sweet.
And this is where I'm, not to brag, but this is why I'm pretty good. This is where a lot of people miss their EQ, because the first thing that I would do if I was to follow up with you is I'd say, okay, whereabouts in London? Whereabouts in London did you grow up?
Yeah, good one. So I was born in West London, and then I moved over to Southeast London and kind of stayed more around Southeast London. So that's where I grew up as a kid. But then later on, I also lived in Brighton. Do you know Brighton?
Yeah, the gay capital of the UK.
Exactly, the gay capital of the UK, but that doesn't mean that, like, but anyway, the gay capital of the UK is Brighton. And I grew up, that was like the latest stage of my childhood, growing up, then going into like a teenager, and then sort of like a young adult. That was in Brighton. So growing up there was quite interesting, because you do have, it's the gay capital, but also there are a lot of straight guys as well. So my friends were a mixture of everything. It was quite a diverse place. Like 1 in 3 people is either a DJ or a musician. It's a very artistic place, very open, and it's pretty cool. But then from there, I did move back to London a little bit, and then I came to China.
Interesting, because that's the thing I always say about Brighton. Like, people probably say the gay thing, and then they'll say, what I would follow up with is Pebble Beach, right? There's a Pebble Beach in Brighton. It's no sand.
Yeah. It's all pebbles.
There's
no sand there. It's all pebbles.
Yeah, and then pretty good seafood, right? Pretty good seafood in Brighton.
Yeah, definitely seafood. I think in Brighton you can get the best fish and chips.
Yeah, that is true.
It's all about seafood.
There's an old Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares. Did you ever watch that program? Gordon Ramsay used to go into these restaurants in the UK. Yeah. So the Kitchen Nightmares program, he used to go into these restaurants and that were failing or losing loads of money. And he went to one in Brighton one time. It was a fancy seafood shop, and then he turned it into a fish and chip shop, and it became like the top fish and chip. I'm not sure if it's still there. It's called Love's Fish and Chips. Is that still there?
I haven't heard of that one.
No.
There is a lot of fish and chip shops down there.
Yeah.
Have you been to Brighton?
When I was a kid, many years ago, because I went to university in Southampton for my undergraduate, but I didn't really pop down to Brighton. It's a bit of a regret of mine. I don't like to have regrets in life, but I wish I'd travelled more down to Brighton and Bournemouth and all these beautiful places, because the south coast of England doesn't get promoted enough how beautiful it is. You know, what's actually, the vibrancy and the environment down there.
Actually, what I did a few years ago before COVID is I took Chinese friends to the UK. I took them to Brighton as well. I put it on the itinerary. So that's another little bit of experience. Like, I also have experience of like being a bit of a tour guide in London, Brighton, and Oxford, around there, because that's what they want to see. So that was quite fun. I might be interested in doing that again in the future. But I put Brighton on the list because I think Brighton definitely needs a visit. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I think too much emphasis gets put on London. I think places like Brighton, the South Coast, the Lake District, all these beautiful places, York, they don't get promoted enough. But
Yeah, because people just think London, but it's like that's not the only place. There's so many places. But I guess like it depends on who you are. Like, one thing I've noticed is that depending on where you are from, you tend to travel to certain places.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you're from China and you go to Thailand, you go to Pattaya. If you're from the UK and you go to Thailand, you probably go to like the
Bangkok,
those little islands called.
Oh yeah, Phuket maybe.
Phuket, PB Islands and stuff like that. So I think, like, depending on your country, you have like a habit of certain places that you visit. I think it's because it's kind of like that herd mentality. Yeah,
exactly. So, Richard, I want you to plug yourself as much as you can. So, because I'll get a few plugs in. So, where if people did want to find you, because I've got YouTube running, I've got TikTok, I've got WeChat, and I've got Xiaohongshu, and everyone can hear you. So, if people did want to find you, can you just spell out where they can? What's the easiest way to find your handle if they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, for Chinese social media, Richard the Shangyu Shijie is where you'll find me, and you'll find me on Xiaohongshu, and you'll find me on WeChat channel, you'll find me on Douyin. And if you're outside of that, if you're Instagram and Facebook, just find in my name, my full name, Richard Mateus, and you'll definitely find me on Instagram and Facebook. And YouTube, but I haven't really got my YouTube up and running for a few years. I need to get back on that.
Yeah.
I was using it before, but I haven't used it recently.
YouTube is really difficult. I think it's quite easy to scale WeChat and Weixin Shipping and Xiaohongshu and Douyin. Whether you're a foreigner or Chinese, I think it's like the easiest platforms to grow. YouTube is built on posting and watch time. It's a bit annoying, but the commercials of YouTube are a little bit clearer. But yeah, it's all based on watch time. So you want people to watch your content as much as, you don't want them to just be like eat Arasan Huazhou, like 1, 2, 3 swipe. You want them to actually like watch the whole thing. And so it's YouTube is a lot more trickier, but obviously for Western audience is better. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I think the algorithm works on you need to post at least something once a week and not a short. It's got to be a video.
Where are you doing the best? Which platform are you doing the best on?
So the one that's the fastest growing right now is WeChat. This one, WeChat video. This one, every time I do these live streams, I'll get another 400 or 500 fans. So, and I should be thanking people. I forget all these gifts. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, I appreciate like all these gifts coming. I forget about all this, but yeah, WeChat is growing the fastest. So there's 60,000 fans on this. My Xiaohongshu in history was the fastest growing out of all my platforms. So that,
your Xiaohongshu numbers are crazy. I saw.
Yeah, I think.
67
yeah, but
how did you do that?
So how I grew my social media was. Oh, hello guys. Yeah, I want to focus on Richard today, right? Yeah, so I'm getting all these messages coming in saying, "Hello, Daniel. Hi, how are you?" And I'm like, all right. So when that special period happened, which we won't mention, you think about it, everyone was just at home on their phones, just like, eh. Yeah. So. And I always wanted to do the YouTube thing. I wanted to be KSI or Logan Paul, or I wanted to get into YouTubing and thing. But the problem was I was always again, I'm probably blaming parents and influencers, but I always wanted to do acting or be loved and social media and all that kind of stuff. And my life could have been very different. Yeah, I wanted to be. I'm more interested in the money, right? I want to be the money first, then the fame, right? Yeah, like someone come out to me and go, "Oh my god, I love you, Daniel." It's like, yeah, great, but I want $1 million at the same time. So I always wanted to do the kind of acting, social media. Well, social media wasn't really a thing when I was 18. It was kind of, we had MySpace and Bebo.
Do you remember Bebo?
Bebo, yeah, I remember all that stuff. Years of lots of wasted months when I probably should have been focusing on my A levels and GCSEs. But and I could have gone into acting because I was pretty good at drama at school. My school actually is famous because Ben Whishaw, who played Q in James Bond, the new James Bonds, he went to my school.
Yeah.
So ask.
Yeah, because you look pretty good at acting.
I wouldn't say I'm good at acting. I just don't care, Richard. I've got like one of those personalities that I just very confident just talk. Right? So yeah, I was. Yeah, I was always good with. I don't know if you ever watched that program in the UK, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like improvisation, and I was always good with that kind of stuff in school. But I went down a more academic route, so I ended up studying law at university. But yeah, so back to your original question, which is when that special period happened. I I just thought, why don't I just start posting for literally, I think it was February 2020. Yeah, 2020. February 2020. I posted every day for like a month. And yeah, just silly kind of me being British. The kinds of stuff that most Brits would scold me for and be like, that's not how we are in England, you know.
That's where I first saw you. Actually, the first time I saw you wasn't through your live stream. I came across your videos and I thought it was so crazy. I was like thinking, like, if he posted that like in the UK, like he would get so much hate for it.
Well,
I thought you had balls, really.
Yeah, well, this is the irony. Actually, I always say this to people. I've got a Chinese social media face. I don't have a. You've got a Western social media face and a Chinese social media. I've got a Chinese social media face, which is you just got to be like, oh, hey, like very dull.
Yeah, you know how to play the game.
So, yeah, I kind of created this British character. A lot of people think I am who I am in the videos. I'm not, right? I don't walk around going British. I don't do that. This is the real Daniel that you're speaking to. I like to say my LinkedIn persona is more the Daniel, the WeChat persona. My Xiaohongshu.
That's interesting because I didn't know, because I remember like I saw your videos, then I saw you live streams. It's the same guy, and in the first few live streams you were kind of playing the guitar, so I didn't really know your persona yet. Then one day, like randomly, you were talking about like business and stuff, but you're really serious. It's like, damn, is this the real guy then? Like,
yeah, I mean, really interesting that guitar. There we. By the way, I'm not going to play it, but there we go. It is there, but.
That's what I saw last time.
I mean, honestly, the reason why I played the guitar originally because I was really struggling. I'd get to 7, 8 p.m. every night, and then I was struggling to play, like, find the time to do an hour or half an hour of guitar. I was really struggling. Like, we all struggle, right? I get to 8, 9 o'clock most nights. I'm like, I haven't done this, haven't done that. So when I did the live stream, and now I've got into a routine of usually around 7, 8 p.m. I just rock out the guitar, but I don't live stream about it anymore because I found that just speaking to the camera was a lot more. People want to hear me speak.
It's way more effective, yeah.
Yeah, so I just ended up. I was posting every day, and then literally, my formula used to be, I would pick a word. I'd pick something like triangle or circle. There was a wave back then of. I was the hashtag is like a 英语学习, like study English. That's like a really big hashtag, right? And I think I just got on that wave. And then the issue I found though was I'm not an English teacher, right? And there's nothing wrong with being an English teacher. It's not what I wanted to do. So in the early days, when I used to do my channel, I used to get a lot of people saying, hey, can I learn English with you? And it's like, sure, how much? And then they would say 200 RMB. But in the early days, I did get a couple of Chinese clients that were looking to go to like the UK, and they were paying, I won't say how much, but it was over 1,000 RMB an hour. It was a lot of money. So it was like, hey, here's over 1,000 RMB to learn English, like just an online thing for 45 minutes. Right. So I did get a couple of those, but I just started posting every day. And I still to this day, I've been posting every day recently, but I'll try and get some for the last 5, 6 years. I've tried to get something up pretty much every week. I've had breaks and things from it because I think it's important just for your peace of mind. Sometimes I've gone on a holiday to places like Phuket and not used my phone for a week, which I think is really, really useful. But yeah, I just started, right? I just started doing it. And then it has turned into this monster of a kind of British character that but it's kind of made me who I am. And I created another business out of it. My other proper business, which a lot of people don't know, is I actually have a marketing business. So I kind of connect companies that are entering China or they're entering Southeast Asia, or Chinese companies looking to go overseas. And then I help them with all of their marketing PR expos, and I kind of connect them with the right people to do that. So I kind of created a business out of all of it. And I just enjoy doing the content. That's probably the main reason. But yeah, being an early adopter, I think is like the earlier, the better. So if anyone's thinking about doing social media, just do it. And that would be my advice for you, like with the YouTube thing. Just get something up tomorrow night. Like Sunday nights are always great, aren't they, for social media? So just get something up.
But is it okay to post it like portrait modes?
So
it can just go on YouTube Reels, yeah? Because I don't want to like have to make 2 types of videos. I just want to use one version.
The Reels, you're not really going to grow a YouTube channel through the Reels. I don't know if you can turn some of those Reels into landscape. It might be possible. I've definitely got away with that in the past.
What do you do? You just post? You just use landscape?
So recently, in the last couple of months, I've got content that was actually, I've got to thank WeChat for this, because I went to an event in Shenzhen a couple of months ago, and WeChat filmed a load of interviews with me that were landscape. So I just it's like a half an hour interview. So I just chopped that up, and then you got a video a week, right? So that's kind of what I did. So that's one way, but you're never going to grow a YouTube channel just by doing the Reels. You've got to do live. You've got to kind of do everything. But you can see I've got a system now. So I've got like live streams running. But yeah, the other bit of advice I will say to people is make your videos short. Like people have got the attention spans of small children nowadays. So try and make something that's 10, 15 seconds long, right? Not necessarily the landscape, but I would say the more short form. Like some of my biggest videos, the ones that got 5-10 million views, they were 10 seconds long.
Damn. Okay.
So it's like, why would I spend 2 minutes doing all this fancy kind of trying to impress people when actually people are just going to be like, oh, this is interesting, Zan. So it's it's just about getting your face out there, but also you've got to enjoy it. I do content because I enjoy it. It opens up a lot of opportunities, and you're an early adopter, right? You've been producing content for a while. So.
Early as well, but I've played around with it. I've changed a lot of things for a long time. I'm still trying to figure my way about with it. But I've done quite well on this WeChat channel, but with YouTube, I haven't even done that. And Xiaohongshu, I'm trying to grow that. So I need to find a more regular system. But I think you're right. Posting videos often is definitely the way.
Yeah.
I just got to get around to doing it.
Yeah. I mean, the next thing I'm looking into is I want to get a team around me, because a lot of people don't understand. I do all this myself. Right.
I thought you had a team.
Nah, I've gone in the last few years. I've had editors here and there, but I'm yet to, if anyone's listening to this, any really solid, it's probably going to be Chinese editors that think that they can stick it out for a year working with me, at least a year. I don't want to work with someone that's just going to do a month or two. I've had that too many times in the past. But someone that's really going to build out. Actually, because I used to have a podcast in 2024 that was it was quite popular actually. It was mainly on YouTube, and I had an editor that I worked with for a year. He let me down towards the end, but he stayed with me for a year, and I thought about that at the time. I was thinking, that's the kind of people you want to work with. You want someone that's at least going to grow your channel for a year or two. But the big guns in China, I know that what's his name? You know the Uyghur guy, Israeli guy in Beijing. What's his name? Rao.
The one that went from Hainan all the way.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So I know him quite well, and he said he's been through hundreds of editors. So I'm just like, maybe I've got a trial and error. Yeah, trial and error kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I think. Yeah, I do it because I enjoy it, and I do it because it brings me lots of opportunities.
You're editing your own videos. You're editing your own videos right now.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, unless you've got an editor that you can introduce me to, who can. But I would love to have
I think what you should do is go to like the film school and find like students like.
Yeah, I should.
From the film schools, you might be able to get like one that can stay with you for longer and really enjoy it. Because I think established guys, they're quite busy and they've got a lot of projects. It might be a bit more pricey, but I'm also looking for the same thing as well.
The thing, I don't mind paying. It's just I want the consistency. I want someone that is and someone that is investing in my channel. Like they want to grow. They don't want to just edit videos and see you later. I want someone that is really, because for my other business, the BD side, I've got some really solid people that I work with, but the video editing side, it's I'd love to have someone, you know, that's really solid.
I think if you give them an incentive, like if they have an incentive, if a video goes viral or you make profit from it and they can get a cut of that,
yeah,
that might make them stay for longer.
Well, I would have thought just hanging out with me is enough.
It's all about money.
Yeah, free English. Ooh, but yeah. So Richard, go into a little bit on your kind of what you do day to day in China as far as your business and working, and because obviously you might be able to plug yourself here a little bit. Some of the people, you know, because you're not a typical Brit that's just again, I've got nothing. Yeah, not just not rock. Well, typical Brits in right. I want to talk a little bit about this, right? Because I can be racist towards British people. That's absolutely fine, right? So typical Brits in China that I meet, they are English teachers, and the English teaching part is not the issue. The issue is they hate kids.
Oh, okay.
So they're teaching English, but they don't actually like kids. They don't like teaching. And then they get into this horrible routine of like, teach English, go to bar, get drunk. I meet a lot of those kind of Brits. It's like, surely you want to do something a bit more productive and legacy building with your life than just hating people and teaching a language that you don't really want to teach. So that's
I've met that type of thought. It's kind of like a vicious cycle. So I think in China, it either makes you or breaks you, depending on what kind of mentality you have.
Exactly. Someone just put a comment. They probably don't know how to teach, and yeah, you're right. And I think that was me. Like I didn't really know how to teach English when I was an English teacher like 10 years ago. I think you have to have a proper system. Like when you're teaching anything, you've got to have you know, if you're learning vocabulary or learning structure, you've got to have a story or a role play and not just like learn 20 words and then hey, put it in sentences. So I think it's really key. But yeah, just tell the audience kind of what you actually do, and then and get in touch with Richard. I'd say, guys.
I do have a full-time job here. I do teach English in China, but at the same time, I do like offer an English corner online. And my English corner is a bit different because I kind of let people come in, like, and we just have an English corner like that. We do have topics, and I do that online and offline. But I try to push my corner more towards like self-development, and a lot of the articles and the content that I create is all around self-development, health and fitness, a growth mindset, and just becoming a better human. And from doing that, like, it's not just finding people who want to learn English, but it's also finding people that also want to become just better in themselves. And I think that's really nice and magical, and that's what I like.
I actually think that's the best way to learn English. Oh, sorry, because I'm putting my charges in everything. I think that's the best way to learn English, is not just learn English, right? It's to combine it with self-help or fitness. I think you're on the right tracks there.
I think we need, I try to use like topics of interest, because I find a good teacher is someone who is just an interesting person. The more interesting, the more you have to offer, the easier it becomes to teach. If you don't have a life, if you don't have any hobbies, if you're not even growing, what do you have to offer to the people that you're teaching? You've got nothing. And that's why you hate your job, and that's why you become so miserable and you get into a vicious cycle. But if you actually do have a life and you are growing and you're into like loads of amazing things, you're into lots of different hobbies, you're never going to run out of ideas of what to teach. You're going to basically not even have enough time to cover everything, which is what happens to me. It's like never enough time. So that's good.
And so where are you?
Something to talk about.
Where are you based in China again?
I am based in Qingdao.
Oh wow,
Shandong province.
wow, love it.
Where are you? In Shanghai?
I'm in Shanghai. Yeah, I love it up there in Shandong. I think I went to Jinan recently because I was actually sourcing a product up there that was it's only made in that city. It's a specialist machine.
Right,
But
Jinan, yes, I know it.
yeah, and but yeah, I think Qingdao for a foreigner is probably there's opportunities there that you're afforded that you might like. Shanghai is very international, right? And what's the British community like in Qingdao? I have no idea. Is there a close knit community?
I wouldn't say close knit, but there are Brits living here, but they're kind of spread out. Most of them have their own families.
Okay.
They just kind of go to work and go back home. They don't really socialize that much. There are a few that have established their own businesses, and then there's obviously lots of teachers, but there isn't that many. I could probably count the amount of Brits that live in Qingdao. There's probably under 10, definitely under 20.
Really? Wow. Is there a Brit club there? Do you guys get together? And because there's a little bit of that scene here in Shanghai.
No, there's no Brit club in Qingdao. There was someone that did try to make a WeChat group like that, but I think a lot of people kind of left and it didn't survive. Right.
Because did you know this statistic? Sorry, go ahead.
The statistics? I was going to say, do you have that in Shanghai? Or you must have.
Yeah, I'll get into that, but because I think it's an interesting topic. But there's less than 10,000 Brits in China.
Wow, just less than 10,000.
Nothing.
I saw your post.
Yeah,
it's nothing. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw your post and how you're saying that it creates a big opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it creates a lot of opportunity, but it's also for. Again, I don't want to sound like a moany Brit. This is where our personalities are differing here. Richard is the positive. He's the good guy. I'm now going to have a moan, right? Although my German friends were saying the same thing the other day, is there's not many of us, right? It's not hard to bring us together as a community. Now, I got a question for you. Do you think that's a cultural thing that Brits, when we see each other, we're not like, oh my God, Richard, you're from the UK as well? Or do you think it's just
kind of
lazy and we don't really want to do it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit like maybe cringy. Like it's hard to like kind of say hello. But once you get started, it's all good.
So
You know what I mean?
why are we not like Americans or Koreans are really good at this? Koreans, when they see each other, they're like, oh yes, they love each other. But why are we not like, oh my God, you're from the UK, I'm from the UK, we can be friends?
Yeah.
Why are we not like that? Why do we kind of punch down a bit?
Because I think it's not like that in the UK, especially in London. People are just not friendly. Like if you say hello to someone in the UK, like you'll get punched in the face or something. Like, you just don't do that.
That's where I've been going wrong all these years. I've been going up to be like, oh, good morning, toodaloo. And yeah. But I guess that's where you and I differ, because when I say you and I, we're together on this. We have consensus, which is when I meet other Brits, I'm not like, oh. When I meet another Brit in China, I'm really interested. Where are you from? What do you do? I want to find out as much as possible. But honestly speaking, from my experience, I don't know if it's just me, but the Brits that I've met in Shanghai, they're not like, oh my God, Daniel. Yeah, like it's kind of and I don't know if that's the reserved thing or what is it them?
So like, I wouldn't come in like for example, I found another Brit that's living in Qingdao, yeah, but his wife messaged my fiance, and then we both kind of connected that way. But I was too shy to message him directly because it just doesn't feel like I didn't want to be like that kind of like, whoa. So they kind of connected us, but we haven't met up yet. But he's in Qingdao, so I don't know. I think it's because we are kind of reserved and standoffish, so I already know how it's going to be. So for me to come in like excited and stuff, it feels a little bit cringy for me.
That's exactly me. I am cringe. My content is cringe, and I think when people meet me, maybe they're a little bit, because I'm so exuberant and because I've I don't have ADHD, but I'm quite an Ian, or I'm quite positive in the way I approach. I'm very, in Chinese they say 社牛, which is like someone that is not afraid to talk to people, and that's very much how I am.
Are you so? Yeah, I would like to see that in real life. Are you really like that high energy, like around everybody?
Well, obviously, if I'm with a client, I'm not going to, hey, you know, I have a, you know, I think I have different personas. I wouldn't say like Jekyll and Hyde. It's more, you know, I can be reserved or I can be very open-minded. I find I'm actually more open-minded and more shunial, more, what's the word? Yeah, kaifang, more open with Chinese people.
Would you classify yourself as extroverted?
Yeah, extroverted. Yeah. And I'll tell you why that is. I'll tell you why that is because when I did my GCSEs and A levels, I was very introverted. I was that nerd in school that was in the library, in my room, studying all the time. When everyone else was out having fun with girls, I was just studying. So I was completely different. I had the drama thing going on. I could do public speaking, and obviously I studied law, so you've got to be confident when you study law at university. But what I didn't have is that being able to talk to people and just hold a conversation. And now, I mean, I meet people on the street and say hi and things like that. And I find in China, it's a lot more, you're not going to get punched in the face here. Like Chinese people are very, so I think.
Do you feel like China has changed?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like if I think I'd be bald if I was still in the UK.
I can hear you, man. I feel like I've aged backwards. I've aged backwards in China.
Well,
I swear down, like when I first came to China, I felt like I was getting old. Now I feel like I'm in like I'm getting younger.
So, although the hairline is receding slightly, what I will say is there was in 2017, I was commuting from my hometown, which is just outside. It's in a place called Bedfordshire, which is like 1 hour north of London. And I was on the train and I saw guys at the same age as me with their faces were grey. They were down here, hairline was here. And I was like, if I continue this for another year, just commuting into London or living in this moany UK kind of world, it's going to affect me. So I think China actually did change my personality for the better because it made me more exuberant, confident, and being able to talk to people and not feel judged. Because I don't get this face in China. You know, when I talk to people, I don't feel. But maybe they think it inside. But.
I totally get you, and I think a lot of Chinese people that are watching this live stream right now, they won't understand where we're coming from. But I'm exactly the same. Actually, people are shocked to know that I'm actually naturally introverted. When I was a kid, I was very introverted as well. But when I came to China, I kind of started to come out a little bit. I feel like I'm just making up for lost time. So I wouldn't say I'm as high energy as you, but I am quite high energy around the people that know me. Like if you ask them about me, they will tell you that I'm high energy. But I don't know, I think you're more high energy than I am. Let's see, we'll see in the future. But for sure, I was introverted before, and I kind of am extroverted now, but I still have elements of that introvertsy inside me, but I behave extroverted. But like it's the same thing. Being in China, it kind of like made me more confident. I remember when I went back to the UK, like 3 years later, people said that I was different. Like I felt differently. I also felt like people looked at me differently when I was walking around like the tube station, the station. I don't know, when I left UK, I kind of was sort of self-conscious of like people like looking at me, judging me. But when I went back, I didn't care anymore. I was like, I'm beyond that now. I don't care.
Yeah.
So like now, for me now, like I think now I've got to the point where it doesn't matter where I go in the world, I'm the same. Like if it's in China, London, New York, like I'll still be like whatever. Like it's all good. But I was definitely not like that in like 2014, 15. Nah. I remember like being in the UK, I was like conscious of like people around and stuff.
I think you care too much. You care when you're living in the UK. You care. I certainly did. I cared too much about what people think, and now obviously with trying to be sensitive. Obviously, I don't want to offend people, but I don't care too much when I want to make people feel good when I'm around them. But
exactly.
But yeah, on your point, I don't think anyone can be as exuberant as I can, Richard.
I can't compete because I saw a video of you on a boat. But it was like a DJ, and you were.
Oh, Joel Corey, yeah. Yeah.
When I saw that video, I was like thinking, okay, this guy, I don't think I can do that. I'll dance a little bit, but I don't think I would be that hyper.
Yeah.
All of those people around.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't ever go clubbing in Shanghai. That's not my life. It was maybe 10 years ago, but now, I mean, last night, it was Friday night last night. I was in bed by 9:30. So,
really? So
yeah.
What do you do for fun? So let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's
what
a good.
Do you normally do to have fun?
And by the way, really great question. And if you ever struggle, anyone out there, if you're struggling with what to say, a great one to go to is, what do you do for fun? Because it's not a yes/no question. It actually makes you give an answer that's that you have to talk. So I've got a number of hobbies. The big one, I think, one thing that we share is fitness. So I go to the gym 5-6 times actually I'd say 4 or 5 times a week at the moment. So that's doing cardio usually in the morning, or I'll get out and do a run in the morning. I do a lot of stretching. So that's kind of my first bit of fun in the morning. And then the fun bit at the moment is I've been doing about 30 minutes to an hour of Chinese in the morning, which is actually quite fun. But it's fun now because I'm seeing progress. But the first month or two, when you're not getting the tones and the characters, you're like, this is not fun, right? So that's becoming a bit of a hobby.
What's your Chinese level now? Like what HSK?
I've done HSK 4, but I'm studying for HSK 5. But I'm not ready for that exam. I'm not ready for HSK 5 yet because I didn't realize until a few weeks ago there's actually a spoken part to HSK 5. You know that? So HSK 5. Have you done the HSKs? Have you done any of them?
No, I haven't done any of them actually, but I'm trying to do HSK 4.
Yeah.
My issue is that I don't write the characters, but I can type them.
Yeah, you can do the type version. You know that. There's 2 different exams. You can do it.
I can do the computer. I will do the computer-based one, but I need to get my HSK 4 done.
Yeah.
But my listening is HSK 5, I would say.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. If you're listening, because I always struggled with putting the words in the sentences. That's what I've always struggled with, like which word goes in the sentence. That's what. But so yeah, back to your question. The hobby stuff is gym, fitness. I do bar usually on a Sunday, which is like a fitness ballet. So it's kind of like doing all this stuff, and I challenge anyone, man or woman, to try bar, BARRE, because it is one of the hardest workouts ever. It looks like it's all fancy and ballet, but actually it's a real workout. So I highly recommend that. Hobbies wise, obviously I play a bit of guitar. I'm really into music and singing. I've really got into James Bond recently. I've become a bit of a James Bond fan, a fanatic, I'd say. So watching the movies and reading the books, I've really got listening to the music. I've really got back into that. Hobbies wise, I go to a lot of networking stuff in Shanghai, so I get my face out there. And the content creation is another one, I'd say. A big hobby is part of my life, but producing the content every day is really a big hobby.
Have you been invited as a speaker, in seminars?
Many times, many times. I've literally this morning I was speaking to it's like a private university in China that wants to give me a speech on how Chinese companies can localize abroad. So literally, it'll be a paid gig. So I've spoken at many events. I wouldn't call myself a motivational speaker. I call myself more a speaker who could probably give some really solid advice to an audience. But I'm going to do something now, Richard. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say you could probably do stuff like how to crack the UK market.
Yeah.
Quite a useful seminar.
Yeah, and I've been approached by that kind of stuff. But this is, by the way, one of the most number one. This is the number one tip I'm gonna tell everyone right now, because I think a lot of Chinese people are not able to do this. Right, it's not really part of their culture, which is Nina and you. So I'm gonna ask you the question: your hobbies. Tell me, what do you like to do?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, amazing. That's nice how you flipped it around. Very similar. I'm definitely into fitness, but I'm more into like calisthenics. I don't know if you guys know what calisthenics are. Using your own body weight, pull-ups. Yeah, I can do. I'd smash that bar if I was there. Definitely will do more than you. You
Probably
might be more exuberant, but I definitely can do more pull-ups.
Definitely. I won't argue with that.
So calisthenics. I also like jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Oh wow!
I kind of picked that up in Qingdao actually. They've got a few gyms that does that, so I kind of like that because it gets me thinking and it just keeps me a little bit sharp and reactive, and it made me more humble. So I like that, and I've also recently gotten into running because I wasn't really a running person, but everyone kept speaking about running, and I just thought running is like for gay people. It's like it's for kids. It's for women. Like I don't need to do that. So I just thought. So I was like, you know what? Let me shut them up. Let me just sign up for like a half marathon and show them how easy it is. So I'm doing a half marathon, a few of them this year, and then I'll also do a full marathon. I just want to get it off the box, like just tick it off, just to say that I've done it. So if anyone questions me in the future, it's like, yeah, running is for kids. I've done it.
Where are these half marathons?
Qingdao, and I'm doing one in Suzhou.
Wow. Okay. Well, when you come down to Suzhou, hit me up because it's not that far away. So we can.
It's not that far. I mean, if there's anything in Shanghai, I would love to do it there. Actually, what I would like to do in Shanghai is there's something called Spartan. Have you heard of Spartan?
I've seen that. We get muddy and you've ropes and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it looks kind of fun because like I think I can handle it because it's a combination of like strength and endurance. So it looks okay. So I might look into that. I might even do it this year. Like I think they usually do them in the summer in Shanghai. So I might give it a shot. But yes, Suzhou Marathon I'm doing at the end of this month. Actually, it's going to be March 29th, I believe. March 29th is a Sunday. I'll be in Suzhou. I'll go to Suzhou Friday night, check it out Saturday, and then do the run on Sunday, and then come back to Qingdao. So that's already planned. Shanghai, I think I'm going to Shanghai for a seminar. It's about coaching. It's about how to be it's a legit coaching course because it kind of relates with what I'm doing with self-development and motivating people, leading people, and coaching people. So I want to get myself more certified. So I'll probably be doing that in Shanghai. I'll send you some information about it. You might be interested in that, but I guess you're more business related. And then apart from that, like I like traveling. I like learning Chinese. I would put myself between HSK 4 and HSK 5 in terms of my ability, but I don't have it on paper certified, so I want to get myself certified on that as well. And what else do I like doing? I got 2 cats, 2 British short hair cats.
Nice.
I love my cats. Yeah, I love my cats. I love traveling, love coffee. I absolutely am crazy about coffee. I need coffee all the time.
Are you a coffee connoisseur? Like, do you know the different ways to make them, the different beans and all that?
I'm not that crazy about it. I just need caffeine. I just need caffeine. But another unusual thing I could say, like to say to people, like I'm also kind of like in a recent year and a year and a half, I've kind of gone towards more a meat-based diet. So I kind of classify myself as a carnivore, but I don't always follow it religiously, but normally I will try to kind of follow like a zero carb diet, and I mostly just eat meat and eggs. But obviously living in China and obviously being with my fiance and hanging out with friends, sometimes I might break my system, but I find when I follow my system, I operate at optimum condition. Like I'm super like focused mentally, physically, and everything like that when I'm like purely on carnivore. When I come off it a little bit, I feel like I'm not quite where I want to be. I also do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about
I do that as well.
Intermittent fasting. You do that as well.
Yeah.
So for me, it's basically a combination of intermittent fasting, carnivore diet, and strategic coffee drinking. So that's like my diet side of things. And other hobbies, I like self-development books and Chinese culture. And I just want to grow. I just want to keep on growing. And I want to help other people grow too.
Yeah, I've got to take a leaf out of your book. It's a lot more inspirational. Your stuff. I mean, there's a few things that I'm a big coffee drinker as well, but I think you've got a real wide variety of really cool hobbies, and it sounds like you really pack your day in. And it sounds really cool. So we must go for that coffee when you come to this area. And by the way, there is a half marathon on 15th of March, but I don't know the timings wise in Shanghai.
Too soon, I think.
Yeah.
That's a bit too soon. You found it really quickly. How did you find that so fast?
Not AI actually. I did the old search, so it just popped up. But and then the Shanghai Marathon will be in November, which is something I've always wanted to do a marathon. That is a little goal of mine.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
Do it. I mean, I'm not asking you to do a full marathon, but if you start training for a half marathon, we can always send each other our runs and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Motivated on it.
Richard, you are not British, by the way. British people do not usually. Oh, let's keep in touch. It's just not. You're more like. Yeah, like my British friends are like, yeah, let's keep each other accountable. Like it doesn't really, it's not really a thing. So, but no, I think it's a really good idea. Is if you message your mate and say, look, I'm up at 5:30, I'm already stretching, ready for my run. Like, it does make you think, oh God, like I've got to.
Yeah, because that's what I do. I've got another really good friend of mine, and we kind of had actually, when I was in like my peak physical condition, I've got to give thanks to my friend Daniel. He's actually called Daniel as well. Daniel.
Great name. Great name.
We used to message each other every single morning. We would send a photo of our weights. We have like these digital scales. We use exactly the same scales, and he would send me, I would send him, I would tell him what I was eating and stuff, and we basically getting jacked together. Because like when you're competing with someone else, it pushes you, because if you kind of get left back a little bit, it's like, oh no, he's overtaken me. It's like you just want to keep going. It's like friendly competition. Like obviously you want each other to do really well, but you also want to like dig it in a little bit if you get ahead a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of good.
Yeah. I've got a question for you on that carnivore diet. Are you literally just eating meat, or will you have steak and some broccolis, or is it just the meat?
It's just meat. Just meat.
Right.
Just meat. The way the carnivore diet works is like a lot of people ask me this question, and I've spoken a lot about it on live streams, but I've kind of decided to stop speaking about it because on live streams, especially in China, it's like really, really misunderstood. But I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
Basically, there's there's 3 types of fuel source. Obviously, the most common one everyone knows is like using glucose, and glucose comes from your carbohydrates. But we as humans didn't grow up. It didn't evolve using carbohydrates, glucose as a fuel source. We used fat. We used to hunt woolly mammoths, and we used to just eat meat. And that's where keto comes from. We used to use ketones. So actually, your body can use ketones. It's just that since like the advent of agriculture, we've kind of switched to more like using this glucose kind of way of living, and it's kind of like normal now. Everyone's like high on sugar, high on carbohydrates, and they got the up and they got the crash. But I found, for me personally, like when I'm using ketones, like my energy level is like super stable, really, really stable. It doesn't go up and down. It's just kind of like the whole day. So I've ranted about carnivore diet a lot online, so I try not to talk about it too much because I get quite passionate about it, but I really believe it's the way forward, and I really hope that people can at least give it a shot. It's not for everybody though. Like some people say that they can't handle it, but you do need at least 2 weeks to like get onto it, like an adoption phase. You can't just jump onto it. Like you won't really be able to do that. You have to like sort of be patient with it and then get onto it. But yeah, man, it's literally 0 carbs. So like I don't consume vegetables. Like I don't plan to eat vegetables, but vegetables end up in my stomach because my missus tells me to eat them, but I don't plan to eat them. I just need eat steak. That's it.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I might have a go because I find that when I do the 16-8, when I do the 16-8 fasting, I have a headache for the first couple of days, but then once I get over that, then it's like, oh, I have a 6-pack. I wonder why that is. Like,
Exactly.
so
Exactly. But so can you handle being in a fasted state?
Yeah.
Like after 16 hours, 18
No.
hours? Do you feel good?
I feel good. I mean, it's horrible the first few days because you've got this kind of ache in your stomach, but then once you see the results, you're like, well, why am I shoveling all this bread and rice after 4 p.m. when I could
Exactly. Well, carnivore diet is the same thing, except you've got food inside you, because when you're fasted, you activate ketones. But if you're on a carnivore diet, it's the same thing because you don't have any carbohydrates to get you off that. So you will actually have the same kind of feeling. So if you wanted to, you could try carnivore diet, but still have breakfast, lunch, and dinner and slowly get into it. But I would say the best way to get into it if you're a newbie is to start off gradually. Just do like vegetables and meat, and then slowly lower your carbs off it. But if you go directly just to like meat and eggs, it might be too much of a shock.
Yeah.
Because I was doing meat and vegetables for a long time. I was doing keto for ages. So for me, going from keto to carnivore wasn't a really big shock to my system.
Yeah.
I was already kind of there.
Yeah, I think it's spot on because it's really good advice because I think right now you've got that kind of summer period coming up and it's a really good.
So I want to get this back.
Yeah. It's kind of there's no greater motivation than May, June. You may go to Sanya, right? You may go to the beach or something. You look good, right? So I think it's really good at motivation.
But you don't look out of shape anyway. Like
I've got a bit of a dulter. I've got a bit of a stomach at the moment. Muscle wise, I'm okay, but I think I've got a bit of a belly just from
yeah, exactly. Well,
yeah.
trust me, fasting and a bit of a carnivore diet, you'll be sorted within like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I did it last year. I did not so much pure carnivore. It was carnivore with some veg, and then I was doing 16-8. So I was doing 8 till 4 eating. And yeah, energy wise, I wasn't having naps in the afternoon or anything. I mean, I don't anymore, but I used to, probably 5-6 years ago, I'd have a cheeky 20 minutes or something in the afternoon. But now, I just plow on straight through. And but yeah, and then you get to, I think the toughest thing is when you have things like events in the evening, right? Because you have to balance that. And then if you're at a networking about 8 p.m. and everyone's eating, or I tend to just say to people, you got to kind of be ruthless and be a bit selfish and say, no, I'm doing this for me. So it's challenging, but you're right, it's you got to change.
I think it definitely will suit you because like I think lazy people don't really like it, but I find like doing fasting, it's like you can do way more things because you don't need to worry about breakfast. You don't need to worry about lunch. You can just literally work through the whole day. So I think it kind of works for like high efficiency people that want to get more done in the day. Like if you go on like this fasting kind of way of living, it's only going to do you good. Yeah,
it's really sound advice. So Richard, we've come to the hour, and I've realised we've got 100 people in. It's pretty amazing. But I didn't know if there's anything else you wanted to discuss topics wise. We've only scratched the surface, really. There's so much I want to get to know you more on. But is there anything else that you wanted to ask? Just and also give yourself a plug. Give yourself another plug because there's 100 people in here.
Two Brits, yeah. I mean, there is some funny comments in there. But
yeah,
I get that all the time. There's always some guy in there like with a bit of banter and trying to catch me, but it's not going to work. Don't worry. I want to know more about like how you're doing this, like UK and China connecting for business and stuff like that. Like, I want to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So first thing is you got to have a hell of a network, right? I know a lot of people, and I'm not bragging when I say that, but in order to connect, you've got to find companies that are looking for something or they've got pain, and then they want to do something in China. So the main thrust of my business actually comes through LinkedIn. So most people, most international companies that are doing business they're entering or already in China, they find me through LinkedIn or find me through my content, and then they contact me. I also have a little BD team that do outreach. Something I'm going to do soon is I'm going to do more email outreach. But yeah, the main thrust of my business is B2B company out of the UK. Could be a manufacturing firm or a life sciences or a healthcare. It doesn't just have to be UK, by the way. I work with US and Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, Australia. Companies that they've got some sort of pain in China. So like their sales are going down, or there's local competition, or they just don't understand the market. And usually the solution to most companies' pain is just marketing. It's not hiring someone. It's not working with a distributor. It's actually, you just sort your marketing out in China or any market in the world. And then usually that will bring in sales. And then you can worry about getting a salesperson to qualify and things like that. But essentially what I do is I connect the deals. So I get companies approaching me, or I find companies that I know have got China on their radar. They're already in China and they've got issues. And then I'm able to connect them with the right people to do marketing or PR or expos. So I don't do the delivery myself. There's no way I could run a WeChat official account. That is it. Saying to companies, okay, what are you looking to do? I think there's otherwise you'll just meet loads of time wasters. I've over the years I've had so many coffees with people that were just wanting to find out about China, and I don't work with find out China kind of people. I work with people like Daniel. We got an expo in May and we don't know what we're doing. That's the kind of people that I work with. So then recently in the last few months I've had a lot of inquiries about Southeast Asia. So that's Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam. So Chinese companies that are going overseas, or international companies that maybe they're considering China or not considering China, and then they're considering that area. But most of my work, sorry, I don't know if, do you have a question?
No, just keep going.
Yeah, cool. I mean, the way I get clients is mainly through content, but also it's a combination of using a bit of AI, so a bit of AI outreach. You know, my LinkedIn is connected with AIs, but also I do a lot of manual stuff. So if you really want to connect with someone, this is a really good tip for anyone out there, is send someone a video message. Show me who you are. Say, send me a message and say, look, Daniel, really love your content. I want to get to, my name is X. This is what I do. I'm from here. I think there's an opportunity, and be specific. Would be great to jump on a call and discuss more. And by the way, here's a quick brief. Here's a quick paragraph. That's how you get business. It's just putting yourself out there, and then afterwards asking loads of questions. So I do a lot of that kind of stuff. I do personal outreach to people, and I pretty much just shove it down people's throats. Like every time someone opens their LinkedIn or someone opens their WeChat moments, I want to be the first person to see, because I'm going to be in their mind. So that's kind of what you have to do with marketing. I take a lot of inspiration from Alex Hormozy, who says posting once a day is not enough anymore. You've got to be like posting as much as you can. And I want to get to the point where I almost annoy people, because we miss content all the time. I've got a really good friend of mine. He's like, I've just had a couple of weeks in the UK. I had no idea because I hadn't checked my moments. So yeah, that's essentially what I do. And then I do get involved a little bit in the actual doing part of the work. So sometimes I offer some consultancy, because I kind of know what works with Chinese audiences. And then if a company has an expo and they have their booth, I'll be on the booth. I'm pretty good with, finding those Chinese decision makers and getting rid of the IE and the students, because they got no money. So I just focus on the real decision makers in China that are actually going to buy a product or service. So,
how many booths do you go to like every year? Are you busy with that?
Yeah, I mean, last year, it's a good question. I'll show you this. That's what I went to last year. Look at that.
These are your medals.
Yeah, that's all the events most of them. I think I lost a couple, but there's at least 10 or 15 here. That's quite a lot. So yeah, and as far as the amount of events, I try and there you go, they've all dropped on the floor. I try and go out to with an expo. It's not necessarily about the amount, but I'm very targeted with going to B2B stuff and in my kind of industry. So I'll go to life sciences stuff like medical equipment, things like that. I'll try and avoid anything that's F&B, food and beverage. Those companies have never got money. Anything that's like cosmetics or clothing, like they're B2C products. So they've got to get sales. So they don't have money up front, right? But essentially on every 2 to 3 weeks. From March up until, I say September, I'll be going to an expo at least once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Busy stuff.
Yeah. And
you enjoy it?
I don't enjoy the rudeness. No, actually, I do enjoy the rudeness. I meet a lot of rude people at these events.
When you go to these events, do people recognize you from your videos? Because you're obviously quite famous on WeChat and
sometimes, sometimes, or I'll get people on the booth just like this. I'm like, and I'm quite sneaky. I'll just look at their screen just to see what they're on. Half the time they're on WeChat or Xiaohongshu or Douyin. So it's like, you might as well follow me. How do you feel? How do you think I built 172,000 fans on Xiaohongshu? I spoke to 172,000 people. So, but no, I think what I enjoy about those events is obviously you get to meet all these people, but you learn a lot about life and how not to be in a sense, like how to really sell a product or service, because I don't see this from Chinese people. I see this from foreigners as well. I'll see Brits and Germans and Belgians, and they'll rock up to China, they'll have their booth, and they'll sit on their laptop for 3 days. Insanity. You're selling your product or service. It's not only it's rude, you're cutting yourself off from the audience that's walking past, but it's also you've got money walking past your booth and you don't want to try and open it. So my team, we do things very differently. We're outside the booth, we're interacting with people. They're good fun. They're tiring because you're on your feet for 3 days, but it really teaches you how to qualify people, like who's got money. That's what those events do, because you could have a massive, you've been to these expos in China before, they've got these big extravagant booths and you think, oh, they've got money, and then you go over and you realize no, they don't. And then you could have a company who's got a tiny little booth, but they just don't have any proper strategy. So I really enjoy getting out to those expos, and I don't know why I talk about them, because I'm kind of telling competitors what to do. But at the same time, when I was running around these expos last year, I had no competition. Like there's no one else walking around selling what I'm. So it's kind of like, well, I'd rather be in a position where I can sell stuff to companies where I don't have anyone else. Although I will tell you a quick story. I'm not going to mention the company, but I did have someone following me around at an expo last year to see which booths I went to, because before I go to an expo, I get my team to say, because I don't work with Chinese companies, I only work with international companies mainly, because the Chinese company's already covered, right? They've already got a WeChat or a Chinese website, right? But the international companies, I'll walk past and their whole booth is in English. I'm like, where are you? We're in China. Why would you expect a Chinese company to go to London and have everything in Chinese? No, it's madness. And then they're usually the arrogant ones. They're like, well, our marketing team did that for us. I'm like, well, you've spoken to me a month ago. I would have done all your shelf scheme and everything. But yeah, you do meet a lot of weird people at those expos, but then I pick up a lot of clients as well. So they're good fun, and you're learning about the different industries. And but yeah, I mean, my forte is really being on a booth. You put me on a booth, again, this is probably my arrogance coming up. I'm going to smash the competition all day long because I'm going to get those Chinese decision makers to follow you and have meetings I'll be doing content and posting it everywhere and getting conversion from those expos and events.
Yes, I understand you. Wow, well, it's been really good. How much time do you have? I think I need to be off before like 6:30.
We can wrap it up. Should we wrap it in 5-10 minutes or something? Or?
Yeah, we can, because I need to go for a run.
Yeah. You a question, Richard, because I realise I've just ranted on. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to ask you that. Yeah, where do you see the future in the next, I'd say, year or so? You know, do you see yourself continuing with the teaching or doing more kind of, going all in on the coaching and the social media? Where would you see yourself going next?
I think I see myself going heavy into AI and using that to leverage the skills that I have so that I can scale up. I think that's where I see myself in the future. So I think 2026 is the year for me to crack AI. I think that's what I need to do. And that's combined with social media, with the posting I do, like videos and articles and live streams, integrating that. But I just need to crack it, I think, this year.
What specifically with AI? What specifically with AI are you exploring or doing?
Basically everything, audio, and just be building websites, apps, so I can scale upwards. Because I can't clone myself. I just don't have enough. So I find for me, like the problem is time is an issue. Time is against me. But I think with AI, if you use it correctly, you can solve that problem with time.
Well, those thumbnails today with our live stream, I mean, that was all AI. I mean, you come off better, by the way, in those thumbnails than I do.
I know, I can recognize it.
Yeah, I don't know who that who I am, but
yeah, I'm playing around with it a lot, and it's interesting. I'm really excited about the future to come. I think AI is a really important topic we need to talk about because it can make or break you within the next year or two. So I think a lot of people are talking about it, and I hope that there's in China.
Yeah, someone's just asked, Richard, are you a UI designer?
No.
Okay.
But I use it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I was speaking to a friend recently about Claude and, these Claude bots, and that's kind of the next level of it literally does everything for you. But I think you've got to be so careful with using those real automated AIs because the idea that it has access to kind of everything. A lot of my friends that are quite savvy with this stuff, they're getting things like they'll have a computer with Linux on it and they'll get it to, they'll make sure it doesn't have access to the real data of your emails and messages. But yeah, the Claude stuff is really interesting. The idea that you can just say, hey, do this, do this stuff that is really manual, and then it just does it for you. I think it's a game changer.
Yeah, it is a game changer. The thing is, like, I wish I could put it into like WeChat, but WeChat's quite difficult to do. But it would be amazing to be able to put your own AI on there, like what you can do with like WhatsApp. But I think in the future you might see some things changing. Maybe WeChat will give you more options to use their own AI, but I think you can't use an AI from outside on there. That would be like a game changer for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of amazing stuff. I want to hack it. I want to become more AI literate. I think that's important for 2026 for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a good lesson for everyone out there. WeChat is developing its own AI. I can't remember the name of it, but they are, instead of, when you're searching for stuff or searching for a name, it's getting to, when you make a voice message, they are developing something right now where you just ask it and then it will find the thing. So we're not far on WeChat from them developing that. Because I know like DeepSeek recently is finally introducing the imagery stuff. But yeah, I think it's crazy. I remember going to an event 3 years ago and them asking the audience, hey, is anyone using AI? And literally one guy put his arm up. And And then, yeah. And then if you ask anyone now, it's a way of life, isn't it? You know, I did this live stream last night on GEO, and AI search is, we're not really using Baidu and Google as much anymore. It's only a matter of time before any time we search. I mean, it's part of my life. Every day I'm pulling DeepSeek and ChatGPT open and asking it things. But yeah, you just got to be careful. Those AI hallucinations, you know, telling you stuff. I mean, like the other day, I asked it, "Hey, what do you think of Daniel Bateman? Is he handsome?" And it said, "No." Couldn't believe it.
Wow. But sometimes I have debates with it. You can't always believe what it says. Like, I think you still need to have your own brain, because it can hallucinate. It can also make mistakes. You have to still like use your own head. It's not quite there yet. It's not quite 100% where you
You can train it. My AI now is a little bit more ruthless with me. It stress tests everything. So you can go into the back end, which I've done on both ChatGPT and DeepSeek, and you can, instead of it always agreeing with you, hey, everything is amazing, you can stress test it. So every time I'm asking it to do things, it's like, well, this is weak. You might want to, you know, so it is doing, that's what you want. I want someone that's going to challenge me. And that's what my AIs do now,
That's a really good idea. It's just like having like a friend that challenges you. They just say yes to everything you say.
Yeah.
It's just a yes man.
I wish I had more of those friends though. I don't
with my AI, I will tell it like that's wrong, like, you know, for this reason. So you do need to train it up.
Yeah.
They're not 100%. Yeah, but I think probably but sometime this year, end of this year, it'll probably be super accurate.
Yeah. Cool. Richard, I think you should give yourself another plug. So if anyone wants to find you, how can they find you?
Yeah, guys, if you're watching this, you can find my channel. So just click on my head and you can follow me. And you can also contact me directly through my channel. You can find my WeChat there. You can also find me on Xiaohongshu, the same name as my WeChat channel name, Richard the Strong Shijet. And if you're on Instagram, find my full name and you can find me there. So yeah, my Instagram and Facebook is kind of different because it's just like, there's no Chinese characters.
Okay. So what's that on? Can you, are you able to spell?
I can type it.
Yeah. Can you? Are you allowed to say it? Can you shout it out? Because obviously I've got all these live streams.
So my Instagram and Facebook is Richard Mateus.
Mateus.
Richard and then Mateus. M-A-T-E-U-S.
M-A-T-E-U-S, right?
E-U-S. If you check that, you'll definitely find me on Instagram and on Facebook. You'll find my personal Instagram and my Bridge the Gap between China and the world.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Okay. Is Mateus, is that a Brazilian name?
It's a Portuguese name. But it's a Brazilian name.
Portuguese. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking of that. Yeah, interesting.
Someone said they can't hear me. Can you still hear me? Am I loud enough?
I'll let you talk first. You go ahead. Just maybe shout it again.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Am I clear enough? Okay, maybe they've got an issue with their microphone.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been amazing. I think we need to do more of these. We'll definitely need to meet up in person. You can also get some ideas rolling if you want to collaborate on something in the future. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, Richard. I just appreciate you reaching out because I get a lot of weird messages. And I think the way you went about it was very eloquent and you gave me praise. And the easiest way to my heart, I'd say, is just give me praise. Just say, like, Daniel, I love you. Can we talk? That's like the easy, if you really want to like, it's like the easiest way to really, it doesn't work with women, by the way. When you message women, say, oh, you're so pretty. They don't care. But if you say to me, you're so pretty, I want to get to know you, I really love your stuff. Brilliant. So I'm very grateful for you reach out and give me this, you know, the idea to do this. And I think it's been a really good live show. I've learned a lot and it's great to meet a fellow Brit who's actually doing cool things in China, who's so open about it as well, because I think as a community, we do need to come together a bit more. Like we are stronger Brits when we're together, and when we try and do things separately, it just doesn't work. But yeah, it's definitely great to meet up. Go ahead.
That's what I mean. So like I've always known, like you can't really do big things on your own.
Yeah.
You need to really team up with people. So I think it's good to have this moment that we can connect and explore some possibilities in the future. And let's take it from there. It's going to be great. And if we want to do like a follow-up live stream in the future, if it went well, we could also schedule something.
Sounds fantastic. I think this has gone really well. And just thank you. I appreciate you, and hope you have a wonderful run as well.
I'll send you the log. And this replay, I hope that you save it, replay it.
Yeah, it'll be saved. Yeah.
And I will make something from it.
Cool. Just make me look good, because I think you won this one. I think you came off better than I did.
Maybe, you don't know. Of course, if I snipped it, I have to make myself look better, but that's okay.
No, make one. Make it look like I won, please. Yeah, cool.
It's been good. It's all good. You two can add WeChat. Yeah, we do have each other's WeChats. So,
we do. We're already on it. We're on it. Don't worry. So go and go and follow.
YouTube, actually YouTube not yet, but yeah, Instagram, Xiaohongshu, and Facebook.
Yeah, go and follow him now, guys. Cut out of this live stream. Forget this and go out and follow Richard right now. Okay, get out there. Yeah.
I hope that you've got loads of followers tonight. I think you've got like a lot of followers in one stream.
300. 301. I've just seen it. Yeah.
Is that good?
He's gone. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. But yeah, I think he's got to go anyway. But Richard, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Don't worry about it. He's such a lovely guy, isn't he? He's a nice guy. I wish I could meet more Brits like that. That's the unfortunate thing about our culture and we discussed this earlier on, is we're not the most, hey, you're another British person. I'd love to meet more of those kind of Brits, but don't worry about it, Richard. It was great to speak with you, and just thank you for your time. Real pleasure. And anyone out there, if anyone wants to join I've got 3 different types of fan groups. I've got a Douyin group, Xiaohongshu group, and WeChat groups. 我有3个粉丝群，我有小红书、抖音和微信微信。所以如果你感兴趣加入我的粉丝群，你可以私信我，然后会发给你们2维码。You're welcome. Anyone's welcome to join my WeChat groups. I always say, just give me a bit of love. Go and watch the videos. Give them some likes and some comments. I really appreciate it. The more engagement, the more eyeballs, it helps everyone grow. I do a combination of both English and Chinese content. I try to do a little bit of both. I've got a video coming tonight, guys. I will be posting a video in the next hour or 2. So keep an eye out. I'm posting a new video, which will be quite a funny one. But thank you so much for everyone's support. I've had some lovely comments, some really lovely comments this evening. And follow me, Guangzhou, Dianzan, Zhuangfa, Pinglun. Lovely comments, guys. And now I can finally live stream across Xiaohongshu, WeChat, TikTok, YouTube. We finally got there. The next thing I want to do is Kick. Kick is the next platform. I have another phone there. I have got this phone, but it's a bit of an oldie one. So multiple live streams across multiple platforms. And Douyin would be the big one, but Douyin, you have to have Chinese people in there. But thank you so much, guys, for your wonderful, wonderful support. I'm very grateful. Richard was a good guy, right? I think we need to get him back on. He's very humble, very nice guy. I need to emulate him more, right? I need to be a bit more positive and proactive like he is. Cool. Appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening and weekend ahead. Take care. Xinian Hao, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, the horse. And if you've got any questions, feel free to message me. 再见, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. 再见. Bye-bye.